Do you know what I like to do when the stock market takes off like a rocket ship? I like to look at some baseball cards. Wow, what a few months it has been if you are in the stock market. Amazing. Hey, I have an extravaganza here. I have so much to show. I have been reholdering and going through cards and just pulled out a bunch of stuff to show. So here we go. On my last video, I showed that I got this Jimmie Foxx 1933 Wart cigar. And I pointed out that I have two of them. Now, upon close examination, I noticed that I think these are two different versions. And I don't know why. I haven't seen them listed as two different versions. But this is more of a sepia toned. And they're taken from a little bit of slightly different camera angle. This one is closer to the camera than this one. And you can see back here, there's a darker white line in the back. And here, it's kind of faded out a little bit. And up here, there's a gap. And here, there's no gap. And you can see that here, his head is up to the top of the card. And here, there's a little bit of a gap. But I think I may have stumbled on two different versions. If anybody knows anything about that, please let me know in the comments. All right. Put out a bunch of stuff to show. Reholdered. Got a few more slabs, so I reholdered some of my cards with my personalized slabs. One thing I want to show you is this 1986 Jerry Rice McDonald's rookie. If you're not aware of this card, it's not exactly rare, but it's a heck of a lot more scarce than his rookie card. There are, I believe, two colors down here. There's a gold and this one, I believe. It's possible there could be more. I remember getting some of these back then at my McDonald's. What they would do is they would issue the local teams. So I got a couple of Pittsburgh Steelers. I still have them. And then they also made an All-Star set. And I have the complete All-Star set, but Jerry Rice is not in the All-Star set. That's a great card. I love to get the non-mainstream cards. And I got this 1995 SP All-Stars, Michael Jordan. It's a pretty cool card. All right, I reholdered some stuff, so let's look at that. First, I have this beat copy of an American Caramel, Addy Joss, but I love it, and I'd rather have this than not have one. It always amazes me that all the cards from the early 1900s don't look like this. Because I'm convinced that all those old cards you find in top condition are somehow restored or altered. It's just hard to believe they lasted. When I go through my collection and I go under a light and I have a magnifying glass, or don't even necessarily need a magnifying glass. You know, cards, they had flaws. They had certain things. They were used. And it's just amazing. I mean, if you pull a card out of a pack today, it could have a ding corner or something. In fact, I opened up some 2024 tops, and one of the cards came out. It had a dinged corner. So you're telling me that you can have all these 8s and 9s in Cracker Jack cards from 1914 or 15 or T206s. I just don't know if I buy that. I showed you guys some of my 1912 Imperial tobacco, and I didn't have enough slabs, so now I slabbed up another one, and this is Bill Abstein. He played for my Pittsburgh Pirates. He was an infielder. One of the few major league players in that set. So I have this one, the Iron Man McGinnity, the Chick Gandil, and the George Kelly is the one I need. I think those are the only four, but I could be wrong. There could be more. I think those are the only four that played in the majors from that set. And I got this Briss Lord from the T207 set. I guess he was known to have a good arm. Little recruit. This set had a few different backs. The recruit, most common. Some didn't have any advertising. And there's I think Red Cross. The other ones that aren't little recruit or blank back are going to be scarce. They're hard to find. If you come across those are extra special. I slabbed up some of my Colgan's chips. Here is Wildfire Schulte. Frank Schulte. Good early player. Owen Chief Wilson from my Pirates. If you don't know, he's the single season all-time record holder for triples. 36 triples in a season. Which will probably never be broken because the ballparks were bigger back then. A little bit easier to hit triples. George Gibson, catcher for those Pirates back then. These things stack so nicely. But I had that one upside down. Oh, I slabbed up some of these 1910 W555. These are scarce. I've shown you these before. I have a fabulous Honus Wagner, a fabulous Rube Waddell. But I have some that I needed to slab up. This is the Eddie Plank. And these were cut off of candy boxes. Here's the Huey Jennings. Deacon Felipe. Of course, the only guy to start in 5 games of a World Series. That'll never be broken. Because the first World Series, they had 9 games. Then they didn't have a World Series. Then they went to 7 games. But the Pirates had one guy that went insane and went to the mental hospital, and another guy got hurt. So he was their only pitcher. And he had to pitch 5 games. And they almost pulled it out. But Cy Young beat them. 1903 World Series. And this guy was the first guy to score a run in a World Series. It's Tommy Leach. He was a national home run leader, I believe, that year, and doubled and scored the first run ever in a World Series. And this is George Mullin. Not a Hall of Famer, but a good pitcher of the time. I slabbed up one of my Tiger Woods Sports Illustrated for Kids rookie card. Donruss Cal Ripken Jr. rookie card. Man, I opened boxes of these back in the day. Loved that set. Still do. Got a star Dr. J here, basking in glory. And got this Dr. J, two-time All-Star MVP. I had slabbed up some of my great sets, and so I added the Walter Johnsons. So the 1960 Fleer and the 1961 Fleer. Cool card. I wanted to point this out to you. I have all kind of stuff to show. I was going through reholdering and just looking to see what I had, what I didn't have in my 1972 Topps set. It's a set I haven't looked through in a very long time because I've had tons of these since I was a little kid. And oftentimes I just put, the cards away and I take them for granted. Because I've had them so long and I know I have a near set and I just kind of put them away until I decide I want to complete the set. And so I took a much closer look at the cards as I was going through and reholdering them under the light and just taking a real good look at them. And I stumbled on this Ron Santo. And I put it aside as a card I may want to upgrade. Because if you look here, you can see it looks like there's something through his face. So I had a magnifying glass and I'm looking out of the extra magnifying power. And I'm trying to see if that is on the card or what the deal is. So I can't really tell. It looks like it's in the card. Doesn't look like anything, it looks like it's on the card. So I go onto eBay because sometimes you'll find this and then what you'll find is that it was in the card. It's in all the cards or some of the cards. And so in looking, this is a version of that card. So there must have been something on the printing plate. And there is a clean version. There's a version that doesn't have that. So I ordered a clean version so then I have one of each. And while I was going through there, I came across my Rod Carew. Now, when I was growing up, the Rod Carew in this set was a tough card. And it was highly sought. And so I have a beautifully centered Rod Carew here. And I've just always had this put away. Haven't looked at it in many years. Probably many years. And what I noticed is that it has, a little crease, little wrinkle. And I never knew that. And my first instinct was, I need to upgrade it. And I wanted to talk to you about this. Why are we so fearful of a little surface wrinkle or a crease? Why is that the dirtiest words you could say about a card? About a card. When you see listings, it's always like crease-free. That's one of the highlights. And in the modern era, even though we can't tell the difference between a 9 and a 10, and the grading companies can't either, we put so much premium on that top grade. And, oftentimes people don't mind rounded corners or anything. And so I was thinking, why did I immediately feel the need to upgrade this because it has a little crease when I have enjoyed it my whole life up until recent years when I had it put away? And it looks beautiful. But why are we so obsessed? I mean, these are cards that were handled, unless you're buying a proof from Topps. I'm sure in the modern era somebody could get that crease out. But I just was thinking, why is a crease like the worst thing that can happen to a card? It's, I think collectors treat it as bad as if you cut a corner off or something. And that brings me to these cards. I don't know, I'm sure some of you do too, but I collect miscut cards, and I love them. And I thought I'd show you a stack of some fantastic ones. Check this out. How great is that? Dan Dreesen. These cards are true one-of-ones. You guys are missing the boat with your centered cards, your numbered cards. Richie Hebner. This is the next big craze, along with centered backs. If I could find cards that I had as a child or really liked as a child, I'll get those first. And of course, you can get these for next to nothing. It's a fun way to collect. Check out this Dick Stewart. They called him Dr. Strangeglove because he could hit home runs, but he wasn't a very good fielder at first base. Ron Hunt. He, I don't know if he led the league. Led for a season or led all time. I have to look it up. But he used to get hit by pitches all the time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, at least at one time, I think he led at least in a single season. My dad used to tell me stories about how often he would get hit. He used to lean into pitches so he could get on base. That's a tough guy. If I was going to lean into pitches, I'd try to guess when he was throwing an off-speeder or a curveball. Check out this Manny Sanguillen. I saw some people were at the Westmoreland Mall card show outside of Pittsburgh in Greensburg, PA. Man, that's my hometown. Love watching those videos. That's the mall I used to go to and pick up cards. In fact, I got my 1933 Sport King Ty Cobb at that mall. I couldn't run to the ATM fast enough. There happened to be a show going on, and I spotted it. Ron LaFleur. Manny Sanguillen with the top cut off. Larry Brown. I talked about this card not so long ago and the story behind it, but top's cut off. My 1964 Frank Howard. This one's great. This is diamond cut. It's not even square. I don't know if that's picking it up. It's kind of cut at an angle. All right, last one. These are fun to collect. I have a whole box filled with these and some lesser condition cards from my childhood. Or cards somebody, people gave me or I acquired that are nice and enjoyed. I'll put it that way. But I don't know. I think these are one of a kind. Try to find another one like that. And this might be the big thing, along with centered backs. You never know. I got this fantastic Ohtani refractor. How great is that? Just fantastic. Bowman's best. I had pulled this out, so I thought I'd show it to you. If you're not familiar, this is the 1961 Roger Maris game card. That's the card that came in the game. I'll put these in reholders. You know, these are oversized, so they don't fit in my slabs. But some 1955 Topps All-American. Byron Whizzer White. Played for my Steelers and became a Supreme Court judge, I believe. We have Max Heim. Mel Heim. Don't know where Max came from. Mel Heim. And Johnny Lujack. All right, I reholdered this. I wanted to point this out. This is the 1967 batting leaders, but it's the 1968 top set, featuring two Pirates, and especially Clemente, so it's special to me. But this is the batting leaders card. Clemente batted .357 that year. But what's interesting is on the back, the Pirates had 4 players in the top 10 that year. So you had Clemente, Alou, Manny Mota, and Maury Wills. 4 players in the top 10. Times have changed. All right, I reholdered some of these. This is from my childhood card, 69 Clemente. I have a few of those, plus the O-Pee-Chee, but, well, I have another one and an O-Pee-Chee. But this is the one from my childhood. Still in pretty nice shape. Of course, most of the cards I sent in for grading, back when I did that sort of thing, got high grades. This is a, I've had this forever. I think it's from my childhood, but I'm not sure. But I discovered later on, I didn't realize, it's an O-Pee-Chee of Willie Stargell. And I did not discover that was an O-Pee-Chee until I brought all my cards out of storage and made this room. Manny Sanguillen rookie card, and it's a beauty. That's a fantastic baseball card right there. Another Clemente from my childhood. This thing's off center, but it is absolutely pack fresh otherwise. Really sharp card. But that's from my childhood. And here's the All-Star card. And Willie Mays. And this is from my childhood. And I believe this was my first Bob Gibson. I believe. And it just, I don't know, this card's so nostalgic to me. I just love it. And a slabbed up of Pete Rose. I got a Wemby 1,000-point card. Topps made these when he hit 1,000. I got this cool sticker. This is Bedard and Sidney Crosby. And I watched the first game together. And man, Sidney Crosby schooled him on the face-off. He didn't win one. At least as long as I was watching. So it was interesting to see one of the greatest older players and the newbie, who I hear is going to be good. We'll see. Got this 1947 Sports Star subject, Johnny Sane. Spawn and Sane pray for rain. And his Harry Beacon patch. It was selling for nothing, so I got it. Pretty solid pitcher. Just didn't have a long career. And I never knew this existed. And, you know, Lynn Swann's my man. I love Lynn Swann. And he didn't have very many cards. But the year after he retired in 1983, Kramer made a card of him. And there's also a Jackie Robinson of him playing football in this set. I have that too. But I didn't realize that Lynn Swann had one featured in his college uniform, USC. 1983 Kramer. For any of you Pittsburgh or Swan fans. And I got this Johnny Busick. That thing took like 2 months to get here. I was missing this from my 53 set. I have a near set in 53 and all the big cards, so I had to get this one. Hoyt Wilhelm. It's a great card. Got this set from Topps. We got Sal Frelick. It's in the style of the 2000 Bowman football. Elly De La Cruz. It's a really cool card. And this is Jordan Westburg. And over here, this is so this is from the 47 Cuban set. And it's an announcer, I guess. Condi. I show these cards. But I thought that was pretty cool. Now, I was friends with Condis growing up. They were Italian, so I don't know if that's a joint name. Obviously. Got this 1971 O-Pee-Chee. Ken Singleton. I love to collect the O-Pee-Chees. Especially in 71, for some reason. Got this living set. And I haven't gotten any of these in a long, long time, but got the Elly De La Cruz. I think they've been going to my junk mail. And I don't even remember ordering this one, but it came with it. I don't know if they threw it in or if I bought it and don't remember. And I got a fantastic 1953. And this is Del Ennis. And he was a great ball player, Del Ennis. And he was the Phillies' all-time home run king until Mike Schmidt broke it. And he didn't even play his whole career with the Phillies. But he was a fantastic player. From all accounts. I didn't see him play. I was going through some cards and I made a comment that Enos Slaughter was a great player. And somebody in the comments was challenging me. They're like, how can you know he was a great player if you didn't see him play? And I'm like, yeah, they probably faked all the film I watched on him, and the Hall of Fame probably screwed up when they put him in. I'm sure he wasn't a good player. It's all fake. I never saw Babe Ruth play either, or Ty Cobb, or Honus Wagner. I don't know. Someone always has to leave some kind of comment. Oh, I got Paul Skeens for my Pirates. #1 pick. And I grabbed this guy. Spencer Jones. First Bowman card. And I put my I was reordering these, so I thought I'd show them. It's a 1986 Topps football set. And of course the Jerry Rice rookie is in there. I have that up on the display. But it also features the first Topps cards of several great players and some other rookies. So it was the first card of Steve Young in the NFL. These guys had USFL cards, but that's his first Topps card. And Reggie White. Here's a Bubba Smith rookie card. All-time sack leader, right? Although, how many of you watched that playoff game where Tony Baselli just threw him around like a rag doll? I was very glad they finally put that man in the Hall of Fame. He was the best offensive lineman I personally watched. Nobody. He was like a wall. Pittsburgh had some phenomenal defenses. They blitzed. They did it all. And he just handled everybody. The Fridge, rookie card. Bernie Kosar, rookie card. Boomer Esiason, rookie card. And this guy was fantastic. Andre Reed, rookie card. And then you had Eric Dickerson in his prime. Joe Montana. Lawrence Taylor. John Stallworth. Another one of my favorite players, Louis Lips. John Elway. Ronnie Lott. Ray Guy. I believe to this day he's the only punter only ever drafted number one in the first round of the draft. As a punter only. You know, in the old days, somebody would be a wide receiver and a punter, or a running back and a punter. And Joe Theismann. That's what I have for you. What are your thoughts? Why is a little wrinkle or crease the death knell of a card? Do you care? Or is it just because it's not worth as much? Is that what it is? Or does it truly bother you? Especially if you have to look at an angle to even see it. All right, guys. That's what I have for you. Thanks for hanging out with me.